Yo, we here, man. We here, man. What a pleasure.
Thank you
Thank
for
y'all for
Thank you.
making the time for me. And
For sure.
likewise,
Yo,
man.
once you said you was down for the interview and you was like, I'm here now, I was like, no. We gotta make that happen. We coming to Florida.
This your boy, Mr.Notch. And right now we at the Neon Camel recording studio in Orlando. And representing for what? One of the hardest, most investigative musical entertainment podcasts I've ever been on. Called what? L.A.M.A.R.R. Whosoever you are. You don't know L.A.M.A.R.R. Notch. Always selling, looking to purposely align himself with people's audiences to purposely run past everyone without waiting on the organic
Not true.
feed and leveraging it and putting a magnifying glass to over exaggerate the marketing to make you believe he's so much bigger than life in a small span of time that now they're like, man, I got fooled by all this. I got fooled by his level of entertainment.
Yeah.
And now people don't respect it. People look back at his trajectory. They don't respect it because they're like, yo,
50-50.
Yeah, they don't respect it. They starting to.
So how you feel about Drake? Because to me, there's a lot of people, they be calling him a culture vulture, but it'd be like, yo, y'all never been to Canada before. Canada is mixed, so to me, it's kind of hard to call him. Like, I don't feel like he is a culture vulture to a certain extent. You know what I mean? Because
so I look at things like this: Manute Bo or Matumbo from Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Where he live at in Africa, they speak up to 72 dialects. So the brain, if the brain is capable of speaking 72 dialects, right? If you hang around 72 different people from 72 different countries and you hang out with them all the time, you know, as humans, we psychologically and sociologically adapt to who we hang out with. Especially Ed said in the song, I'm not a Puerto Rican, but I'm speaking so that you know. It's just a dialect that I select when I hang. All of us pick up dialects from who we hang around with the most. After a while, starts to
And he from Brooklyn, so it's like, you know how
Brooklyn's no different from like Toronto.
Yeah.
There's the same mix up and blend up where you hear so many dialects. It's just a frequency. I look at dialects as frequency to me. It's what you frequently hear to resonate with someone, to relate with what they're used to relate to them. If he's speaking Spanish all the time, I'm trying to and I want to connect with him and his DOS computer language of what he understands as the input. I'm gonna have to switch the keyboard into Spanish mode and make sure there's accents on certain words so he could receive what I'm trying to input.
And more comfortable.
Correct.
Yeah.
I look at Drake is just using his ability of delivery and frequency. But I've also been to Canada in the early 2000s, and I learned that a lot of Canadians had a chip on their shoulder because they felt that they lived above Niagara waterfalls right over New York.
Yeah.
And I felt like they felt like, yo, all these New Yorkers are coming over. No different from like when you watch Casino. You see Joe Pesci when all the Italian New Yorkers was moving out to the Midwest, taking over Las Vegas and
That's funny. I was just watching it.
Yeah, and when they come over there, they're like, yeah, you don't understand. You're just a visitor. You know, we'll send you right back. Like you coming in like you running shit. I remember hearing Canadians kind of talk like that about New Yorkers. And crazy. These kids from Edmonton, from the West Coast side, invited me on a song called Crazy World. They were fans of Jamericans. They heard Nothing to Gusso. They were like, yo, this dude had a voice similar to like Barrington Levy and the early singers from reggae. And they were big fans of Barrington Levy. So they got me and Barrington on a project. They flew me to Edmonton. I did the record with them. I had problems with immigration and customs. So I came up with a song. I came up with a hook to their track. I'm like, yo, before you cross the border, you better have your shit in order because Ronnie Place, they don't play. The immigration and customs gave me a problem because they were like, yo, there's no work permit for you here. So you got to before you come in here. So when I left from Edmonton and started doing shows in Toronto, I move real stealth and I move real incognito. I don't really walk with this, you know who I am? Kiss the Ring. I'm kind of a big deal. I've been highly advertised on all these networks. How you know who my song is. I keep quiet, walk with my head down with a big stick, stand in the back. I whip it out when it needs to be. I stand in line at most clubs. I don't walk up and be like, yo, I ain't trying to stand in line. You know who I am? I just stand in line. I made a song called VIP, Giant about the line, get back, see somebody time. I know how people think about artists who come up and try to like bogart and use their celebrity status to abuse it. Like, yo, I'm a big deal. I'm gonna spend a lot of money. Yeah, I got a long line, but you know who I am? They regular people. That's not my mindset. So I've heard the grumblings of Canadians feeling like, yo, we got to show these New York dudes that we just as thorough as them, just as gangsters as them. We got swag like them, if not more. And just because they talk the way they talk and they think we talk weird with A and switching from patois to regular Cajuanic way of white boy speaking, but flip the patois and then all of a sudden trying to mimic like as if they from New York. I noticed they had a chip on their shoulder. And I think Drake is Canada's get back at all the years of them feeling like they had to be in the shadow of this whole New York dominance. And I think he took everybody by surprise. He started out in an R&B group with my homegirl, Melanie Fiona, singing, like he went from the actor in the wheelchair, the friendly guy, the visually friendly, non-threatening, non-hood guy, non-New York. I grew up in the sticks. I grew up in the hood. You know what it is. I got to be on my alpha shit. Anybody gonna son me? No, nice guy. Like,
basketball.
Yeah, from the acting into the acting to now the legato delivery of seducing you with acting with the singing to then I'm gonna slip a little bit of that. I want Lil Wayne to know who I am. Trey Songz, yo, I got a collab with Lil Wayne. I bought the acapella from somebody was selling acapella from Lil Wayne. I'm a full Trey into believing I'm already out there. I'm doing good and then Trey connects them together and then all of a sudden now he's on. And then now he's channeling people that's from New Orleans and then he's channeling people from New York and he's a great channeler.
Yeah.
But he's an actor turned. Most great actors can mimic people and they can channel a lot. And anybody they're around will sociologically influence them.
Yeah.
And Drake wants to I think Drake always wanted to just be more relatable to everybody. And he saw that his acting, his singing, and his mimicking ability, it allows him to cloak and become whomever, whatever, to relate to you. He's always trying to relate to women. If you're a light-skinned dude, you're putting the light-skinned pretty boy, non-threatening man, be a lover boy. Try play with all that hard shit. And you're like, you ain't hard like that. So all his records, he has a frequency for that. Then he has a frequency where he has a chip on his shoulder. I'm gonna show these down south dudes, I'm gonna show these New York dudes. I can relate to them on their level and talk like them and rap like them. And if there's a young upcoming artist who has an original flow that a cadence he might run into, he might be like Steve Jobs. He might be on some, yo, I'm too big to fail, so why don't I go ahead and cheat and I could do what he does and do exactly what he does, but make it sound better because I have a singing voice, I got more melody in me, I know what it is. I could take his shit, make it sound better, like XXX.
Yeah.
I think he thinks like the owner of Apple at one point. I'm gonna take the small guy and expand my business by mimicking the small guy and then get his audience. So if you want to call the fact that his mother is a Jewish woman of the Jewish background and his father is a Black American, but if he was more like carbon sulfated and was raised in the suburbs and raised like very, very, very middle of Canada whiteness and had blandness to him, and they have footage of all that, if they have footage of all that, and all of a sudden he used his acting to now, well, he's losing himself in the act. He's losing himself in even all his dialect that he could like or relate to everybody, where he doesn't even know who he is anymore. And people start to break down his story. Of course, he can appear to be like a culture vulture, bro. But he's showing us the future of what every artist is capable of doing now, and what every artist is going to be expected to do now before they make the AI version of us.
That's what they're doing.
Before they make the AI version of it that can do the different language, where the AI does use your voice, put in a different language, and now it's the tech that's supposed to be vulturing the culture that you want to relate to or get sales from. He's just showing the human version of it. I did it back when I was in Born Jamericans. I did it like I channeled every singer my father played around.
Yeah.
I channeled every singer, but I wasn't like Drake where I think Drake would never show the magic trick how he arrives at his. He doesn't show. Everyone exposes where he gets everything from, where it almost makes it seem like he's shiesty, almost makes it like he's greedy to be at the top, and he will vulture in on a small to get somewhere and mimic them to beat them with their own shit and get a bigger fan base with it, or get their fan base and take it to the next level. I was just trying to reintroduce something of the old for a new generation. And I told everybody who I got all my shit from. I put it on my album covers. I put it on the linear credits. When I do interviews, I tell everybody, yo, I get my shit from this singer, that singer, that singer, that singer. And when everybody listens, they're like, yo, you're right. You're like the best culmination of them all. I was like, I got a quick debriefing and a crash course of all these singers through you. And one time, no different from R. Kelly, no different from Michael Jackson. Some of the greatest artists are the greatest mimickers and greatest channelers. We can relate to people on many different levels, but the key is for us not to get lost in all these different abilities where we lose our own. Exactly. What are we supposed to offer? You feel me? People don't. I got checked on stage. I don't know if Drake gets checked. Drake's so big, people be too scared to check him on stage live and be like, yo, what about you? We heard you channel Future. We heard you channel Wayne. We heard you channel all these. Well, who are you? They did it to me on stage in the 90s and a performance in Connecticut. Damn, my hometown. Damn. Yeah, I used to feel about that. I thought it was dope because all of us have to challenge our talent for growth. And what they really were saying, yo, can you just lock yourself away from hearing any kind of external stimulus or anyone to mimic off of? And when you come up with whatever you come up with, what does that sound like? All of us have to find our own voice from mimicking so many different voices. Yeah. Even if we could do people's voices better than their voice, like a cover singer who opens up for the same singer that they're covering. Like, you want to hear the same shit. You can be like, yo, why are you even covering the same artist about to come on? And that's their original shit. And like, why would you even? The artists be like, yo, just challenge your talent and come up with something where we can hear it from you before this other act comes on. That's kind of what was the moment for me. And what it did was it just made me a hell of a writer. I let that experience becoming a hell of a writer. And I let that experience to just learn how to like listen to many genres of music and then understand songwriting. And then I just locked myself away for months with no external stimulus, just digging through my own memory, digging through my own mind, and then letting the beat speak to me. My partner's always telling me like, Notch, these regular artists are going to be mad at you because you could actually do their voice better than them. And then you have access to a younger generation that don't know them. And you have a look that if they fall for your look and they fall for your sound, it's like an unfair advantage that you have. But they're going to check you every time they see you that you're beating into the punch of selling like their vocal crack rock to a corner that they already own and you came on a block and you mimicking the same. Yeah. He's like, yo, you need to listen to the music and let the music tell you how to cut it up. The music will tell you how to cut it up. Once I started doing that more, I ignore the voices and just listen to the instruments and let the instruments start stimulating me to come up with original melodies. And I started knowing what voice to use out of my own vocal register. And then I went through some pain of rejection. Rejection helps every artist find their purpose and their path.
If you know how to take it, you know what I mean? If you know how to take it.
Yeah, no also came from rejection.
How long did that take you to do that? Like, because maybe I'm not a communicator, right? Like you were just saying, somebody told you, like, who are you specifically? Because I feel like as an artist, I have that issue, but at the same time, I feel like it helps me because I'm very versatile when it comes to stuff. Like, I can give you that Tupac style, then I can give you that J. Cole, then I can give you that Meek Mills or ASAP. I can give you all, but then it's like, well, how can I do it for myself and not be like done?
Well, pain. I think it's easy to mimic people. It's easy to impress people. No different from a woman. She could put on makeup, try to look like somebody that she see is getting attraction or peacocking to get it to seduce people. The key is, what are you going to do to hold them? Like, every woman looks attractive and they can get any man, but what are you going to do to keep that man from not looking elsewhere or he's over your looks already? And then, so everyone all of us as talents, we all forced to challenge our talent by digging deeper to find that one painful experience that you want to express. And when you find it and you communicate to an audience and they give you the feedback where they feel like they're getting healed by what you're saying because they can feel like they can relate and they feel like it's them going through what you're talking about. From that, you'll start to make everything sound like that, and it'll move away from you feeling like you need to watch someone for the training wheel, if you will. You feel me? It took me. We used to, when I'm born Jamericans, I used to use what they call a rod of correction stick. Keith Lawson, our former manager, he one time he's like, "Yo, I think you need a prop, man." And he gave me this cane that was supposed to be like a representation of Moses, the rod of Moses that you part the Red Sea. It was like a scepter, they call it, like a scepter that could part the Red Sea, but it had a snake wrapped around it, and the snake's head was like the handle part. So what I would do, just so we wouldn't just sing our songs and then like people feel like, man, we paid to just see you run through the songs like we did watch a music video. We paid to see our live. Feel like there's a humanness. So we started learning a lot of Jamaican acts was using other kind of like tactics to keep the crowd interested and engaged. They'll tell jokes. They'll sing a popular song, or they'll mimic some old school stuff. And the audience be like, man, we got more than just the songs. They gave us, we didn't know they knew these songs and they knew how to do this and it was dope. So we added that to our repertoire of me being able to mimic everybody. And we would use the rod of correction as the magic wand stick that Edley would, my former partner would take that stick and be like, yo, when I do this, I'm gonna hit you, turn into Super Cat. That's where that one show in Connecticut, somebody in the audience got mad, was like, yo, how about you do you? When that happened, I'm like, okay. Yeah. So it's time to stop mimicking.
Wait, did you do it in the same night though?
Right after that, I started getting to my bag.
All right, wait.
I come home from tours and lock myself up.
Yeah, because I don't want to go too far.
No, it's all good.
Let's jump back.
I
didn't get to introduce you.
All right, let's get it. Let's get it however you want to get it.
All right, so I see who we got, but just in case you, all right, well, we could. Welcome to another episode of the Lamar Show. We love art, music, and real rap. Real rap meaning real conversation. And if you like the same, click the like, subscribe, comment, and/or share. You could do one, you could do all. Either way, it's always appreciated and never hated. Today, I got my co-host with me today, man. Young legend in the building. You're gonna get familiar with it. Today, man, we got another special guest, man. This guy is a master of rebranding, innovative, just like, man, it's just a lot. Like, this guy can pocket into anywhere. Even when people gave up on him, he didn't let it stop him. And like I said, just a master of rebranding. The one and only. You wanna give the name?
Yeah, it's all good.
You do it
man.
better than me.
Not your average singer. Yo, we here, man. What a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you
making the time for me. And
for sure.
Likewise,
once you said you was down for the interview and you was like, I'm here now, I was like, no. We gotta make that happen. We coming to Florida. Yeah, just so anybody don't know, we in Florida.
That's at the Neon Camel recording studio.
At the Neon. Yeah, for sure. Big up the Neon Camel recording studio.
Yep.
Oh man, this is just for me, or for us. Like, this is like, like childhood. It was like just hearing different songs, and then as a kid, you kind of don't really know who is who until you see music videos, and then you put like, whoa, this is the same guy from. So where did you even start from? Where are you coming from?
Okay, Notch. My real name is Norman Howell, and that last name is real. I learned as time went by how powerful that last name is in the history behind it. But I was born and raised in Hartford, Connecticut. If anybody knows, outside of it's like
I know
a couple of cities in the U.S. that have a large Latin population, and Hartford, Connecticut, I think might be the first that has the largest Puerto Rican population. So my family hails, of course, all the way from Africa into the Mississippi, South Carolina, North Carolina, Worcester, down to Connecticut, from Nigeria, Ghana, into Jamaica, down into Cuba, back to Jamaica, into New Rochelle, New York, into Hartford, Connecticut. My mother placed me in a bilingual elementary school that was closer to my housing project, and I was forced to have to learn survival Spanish from kindergarten. And my mom had me raised around a lot of Boricuas. And me and a couple other people in the school, probably the only Black Americans that didn't speak fluent Spanish. My father was a bass player for a reggae band. The reggae band was called Premier International, and he moved from Hartford, Connecticut, came from Jamaica, age 11, and that 11 number keeps on showing up. My grandfather was born in Cuba, left at age 11. My father moved to America at age 11. My father moved me from Hartford, Connecticut to DC at age 11, and my father always brought me around his band. He's an architect and a bass player, and his band was out of DC when he left to go to Howard University, and he always exposed me to reggae music. And my grandmother, his mom, Norma Howell, she was a big fan of Bob Marley.
Oh yeah, who else is he playing though? Who else is he playing?
Pops was always playing Dennis Brown.
Oh, I love D Brown.
He was always playing Black Uhuru. At the time they had Junior Reed, and then they had Michael Rose. So I went between both of them, both of those voices. But during it, he would always bring me down to DC during summer vacations. And the summer vacation was like my musical appreciation training ground for me.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to like going away, breezing away from the housing project for the summer and then come back with new gear to go back to school. But I was always coming back with newer skill set from stuff I got from being around my father's band, stuff I got from listening to my father's cassette collection. He had a large cassette collection of a lot of dope reggae music at the time during the late 70s, early 80s, mid 80s. And I think a couple of cassettes had live singing on it.
Mm.
And I ran into all these dope singers from Jamaica singing live. So I was hearing like the raw talent. And a lot of these singers, like they were just, a lot of them probably didn't even grow up in the church in Jamaica. They just was raw talent. So I was hearing rawness from them. And it was just, to me, I was like, they were all my vocal coach teachers.
Yeah.
At the time, I didn't look at it like I was culture vulturing, I was mimicking, I was channeling. I'm like, these dudes are showing me, I was a breakdancer first. And then I got into regular popping and locking. And then my dad was buying me keyboards every Christmas after he noticed I love playing my aunt's I like playing my aunt's piano.
You know how to play?
I played piano by ear.
By ear? Yeah, no, that's
I
good,
learned
man.
a couple of melodies and then I memorized it and I just started feeling my way through. And then my father would buy me these keyboards every Christmas, and then me and him would have jam sessions together when I got around him. And then when I finally moved with him, we would do it more often. But I was always moving from dancing into letting my voice dance. And it was always percussive. All my singing was always percussive, like singing to the bass, singing to staccato delivery, grooves that they're now using now. Everything is just a groove. Quick groove, quick catchy groove, quick. It wasn't no like what they call legato, easy playing, long chord sustaining, real. Now it was always like something that had percussive, like as if you dancing to the music, you're dancing to the music, and opposed to just the drum. My vocal style was always trying to mimic singers that always approach things in a vocal percussive way, and that's the dancing. You feel me? And it led me to what was once rap. A lot of rapping is staccato delivery. A lot of rapping is like as if you have I call it like your voice is could be a gamma ray gun, where it's using vibrato, like woo. It could put you in a trance. Like a lot of singers sing a lot of vibrato, and you like in a trance, dumbfounded, awestruck, like man, I'm freezing, like can't believe sound is making me feel this way. And then rap delivery is always staccato delivery, it's choppy, it's percussive, and always was inspired by rap. I'm talking like I would always in Connecticut, I used to battle with different other people in the housing project of cassettes of recording all the New York stations for all the underground rappers or rap. And I got the newest rappers rapping. We battle like sound clashing.
Who were you coming up on at that time?
Cold Crush Brothers. I don't know how far back your audience goes, but if you research Cold Crush Brothers,
what movie did they play in?
They might have been in Break. They might have been in Beat Street. They might have been
Crush Groove.
Crush Groove. They was in Crush Groove. They had like Run DMC.
Mm-hmm. Fat Boys,
Force MDs, UTFO.
Just that era.
That era of all the rappers, I was studying them. And then when I moved down to DC, when I started watching music videos on Saturdays and then every day, I was seeing everybody from Brooklyn and Queens during that whole early 90s era. But anybody that had fast, choppy delivery with rapping, to me, they was dancing with their voice. So I always wanted to like perfect that style. I look at the arts like it's martial arts. My father had me in martial arts early as a little kid. When I looked outside my housing project window, I saw people singing, doing martial arts, playing basketball. In front of my house, Marcus Camby that played for the Knicks at one point, he actually played ball right in front of my house on the crates. He grew up with my brother. I know him personally. I'm watching b-ball, and in my mind, I'm looking at b-ball playing like they dancing with the ball. I saw people wearing martial art outfits, jumping up and down, playing tap with the ball, and they singing. And I'm like, yo, I moved into it. My mother had me moving into like a musical housing project. And we had rec centers to keep us out of trouble because the gang culture was around us. But we grew up doing like what everybody's seeing now on TikTok with all these dance crews and everybody, these rap battle leagues that's taking place. All that kind of was happening in all our recreational centers, as you know, like in any metropolitan inner city area, they try to keep people off this from going the wrong way, keeping them constructed by being in the arts. I kind of grew up in that during the 80s, along getting my education from my dad with his reggae band, and then going to the suburbs to my grandmother, where they all play nothing but reggae music. And they played the classics. They played music from the 40s and like the 50s, mento, ska, like calypso, barbershop quartet, any like theater type play type music that you would see on regular TV. And my grandmother always listened to like AM station where they had a lot of dope like 40s and 50s music. So I was getting like taking in all these frequencies, and I was always trying to mimic frequency. Like if you think about it, we all just trying to mimic nature. We're trying to mimic air. How does air ruffle against trees, ruffle against the chimes? Like we're all trying to do that with our own natural voice. So I always look at life as art and martial arts, and to even get deeper, I look at like art as quantum physics and quantum mechanics. It's movement.
It is because vibrations,
yes,
frequencies,
it's all movement. I'm like, yo, how can I use my human body to do the same? How can I use my voice to do the same? And everybody to me was a stimulus for teaching me how to do that and educate that out of my own being. Because I think all of us have all this in us. I think it's ingrained in our memory bank. It's just a matter of jogging it out of us and unwrapping the gift that all of us have to be a present to people by being present with it and showing anyone around you the amount of hours you spend unwrapping it by 10,000 hours or 40,000 hours of practice that you do by yourself, and you separate yourself from the herd or your friends, and you go lock in and tap in, and then you come out excited like, yo, I can't be the only one hearing this or seeing this. I got to share it with somebody. And that's where the art is born to. Now I'm brave enough to show the art to people. And I come from that kind of schooling, but I didn't know at some point all those training wheels, it's time to ride your bike now.
Yeah.
And it's time to get the bruises and bumps of something that you have to come up showing how you pedal, how you ride the handlebars, how you can do your own stunts on the handlebars without the training wheels and the support of getting all this inspiration from everybody. And it started to morph. Like Pops had a huge record collection besides a cassette collection and besides live band rehearsals that I used to go, like be a part of and see and sit in on and want to be a part of it, and looking forward one day to get on stage with him. And he never knew this. He was always like, yo, I do this, but I'm an architect and this is cool, but I've seen many kings and they all lose their crown. I've seen people hail people to nail people. I see people rise people to fall people. You might have a run, 10-year run. You might get 3 10-year runs, and then the classics just sustain you. But the money may come and go. The money may do well enough, or you may be able to take the money and then use the first 5 years to like set up your 50 years. Mm-hmm. He was always teaching me about the non-longevity, but teaching me about the songevity. But always like, yo, you don't need to be getting caught up in the illusion of the optics of the marketing of wanting to rise off of the arts, because
and that you can't come down.
Yeah, he was always keeping me grounded, man. Like, and he would always check me too. He would be like, "Yo, it's cute what you doing, man, but I want to see how good you are with them training wheels.
Yeah.
You ain't spending enough time learning all the chords, and you ain't spending enough time learning how to read music. You ain't challenge your craft to be so seasoned that it comes to you so second nature for you to get results so fast, and then you want to do it to anything that I know that you're gonna have the chops to sustain any trend that happens or any new artist coming that they say sound like you, look like you, or you ain't that dude no more. Where I know you're built to last. He always felt like I wasn't there. My pop, and he was right to a great extent, but I think he didn't know how much I was a willing student and a humble student, and how much I allowed me being a light skinned dude that had supposedly had the unfair advantage, how much I would work hard to prove don't let the light skin fool you. Like it's depth to me. I will separate myself from everybody and go in the gym and sacrifice myself for practice to come out with results that's even if you don't know what I look like, you will like me. I always had a chip on my shoulder that even if you didn't know what I look like, you didn't know I had supposed to flexible connection.
Yeah.
Guarantee if you don't see what I look like, you'll still enjoy me. That was always a chip, and I proved that with Nothing to Gusso. We're gonna get to Nothing to Gusso.
Yeah, I was saying because
we're gonna get to Nothing to Gusso.
Because we got to
So
go to
yeah. So
Jamericans.
we going. So when my pops moved me to DC,
Mhm.
it was like Boys in the Hood, where your father comes and like it's time for you to become a man.
Yeah.
You're doing too much in the hood. I hear you staying out too late, breakdancing, thinking you're a grown person at age 11, like you're a man child, thinking you some grown man. Coming in late, like you don't realize you're a little kid. You live in an environment that's not so safe, where kids get murked, kids get what have you. And you talking, you acting kind of unruly as if your mom don't have a strong hold on you.
Mhm.
So it's time to get some of this tough alpha love, because the world ain't gonna be coddling, enabling, and letting you get by. So, and I'm sure he was getting the pressure as a father, like, yo, how you live down here, got your degree, you with your profession, you doing your thing with this music thing, when you got a son that's stuck in an environment that if you don't get him fast enough, you might hear some news that, what kind of father are you? I'm sure he dealt with that. He was dealing with that pressure, and that was my blessing. Came and got me. Couldn't take it hearing from my mom saying that, yo, the kid is stubborn, the kid's a little unruly. The kid thinks even how you deal with him is like soft, where he's not incentivized to be being unruly and being super disciplined. So when Pops got me, Pops definitely reared me with the Jamaican way of, yo, you're not gonna be a typical kid from the environment thinking that behavior is suitable to be a functional, like law-abiding citizen, progressive element in society when you become of age. Where I gotta take the plant that's bent already and try to make you straight, super straight and narrow, so you could thrive. And he slapped me in the Catholic school, and that's when I first got around all these different nationalities of people.
Because you're in DC.
I'm in DC.
Yeah.
I'm in the DMV. They call it DMV area.
Yeah.
He got me in Maryland first, going to school, a Catholic school, for like 3 years. I'm meeting Colombian people for the first time. I'm meeting Bolivian people, people from Nicaragua, people from Bolivia, people from Paraguay, Uruguay. I'm meeting Jewish people.
Yeah.
I'm meeting several carbon sulfate white folks. And I'm like, man, all I know in my life is Boricuas that are mezclado, that's mixed. They come in all shades. Black American folks that come in many shades. Caribbean folks, but predominantly Jamaican folks. So now I'm using my housing project ways of how I win people over. The laws of making friends, the power of making friends, and the power of winning over my tribe as like a wolf pack amongst a pack of wolves, and earning my stripes amongst them to be like included and respected and prompted up. Where y'all not gonna count me out, y'all not gonna sun me, y'all not gonna punk me. I'm here to go to school, stay in good line with my pops. I'm doing this for my pops. I'm not really doing this for what he's telling me about. This future thing talking about, this tomorrow thing. I'm just doing this so I can have more freedom to go out there and perform. So I'm going out there enjoying more opportunities and win more people over. Because pretty soon they're gonna see what I've been working on since age 5 or 7, and they're gonna feel my frequency or what have you. So I'm learning. People are learning me. They're like, yo, wait, we're confused. How you know Spanish? the last name was Howell, like, and what are you? Like, you speak Spanish pretty bad. Like, you must be Puerto Rican. I'm like, nah, I was raised around Puerto Rican. My brothers and sisters half black and half Puerto Rican. Their father's Puerto Rican. My aunts and uncles black and Puerto Rican. Because their father's Puerto Rican. My father's Jamaican. And my mother's father is Black American. And they, like I said, they route from Worcester, North Carolina, South Carolina, Mississippi, Africa. And I just happen to be a sponge. I happen to know as a little kid, mimic your environment. Become your environment. When in Rome, do as Romans do in Rome without really becoming Roman.
Exactly, yeah.
You feel me? For the bad part of what it is to be Roman or what have you. So of course I'm razzling and dazzling them. I'm getting my practice on. Spanish girls, I'm like singing Spanish joints I know. The dudes, I'm playing basketball with them, I'm playing football with them, but when I'm playing football and I'm playing basketball with them, I'm dancing. I'm dancing around them. I'm doing all in my mind, whenever I'm juking them and faking them, I'm just doing fly dances with the ball and earning their respect. So I'm using where everybody says transferable skills. Like all my years of being involved with the arts, from dancing to martial arts to even the art of sound, I'm using all those tricks to like win people over naturally and letting them know I'm not an average dude that just take life how it is. Like I see things in my head. I visualize and I actualize what I visualize from young without my dad teaching me, without my mom teaching me. Just when I came in this planet, I probably already came here a priori with already some notions of a previous life of knowing what I was supposed to come in and try to execute and hand out. And I saw it early and we just needed the public to see it. And I was working towards that always. The school, this school allowed me to go find an audience. But it allowed me to tap into an academically inclined part of my brain that my dad was like, yo, naturally melanated people, we song and dance like it's nothing. That's our thing. Movement is nothing to us. Melanin and sound frequency go hand in hand. It comes to us very easy. He's like, yo, you don't get paid for doing something that comes too easy to everybody. That's gonna have to be oversaturated. You're gonna have to learn to use this to outwit people and have a skill set beyond always being able to be fly and swagged out and dance and singing and I've seen many kings use all that and then they die down and you need to be thinking longevity, foundation, what have you. So he was always on some, yo, it's cool, you could be cute, but I need you to be deeply rooted. Yeah. My dad was the humbler, yo, like he saw that I could easily get serendipitous results and win people over, but he was like, yo, that's not when you get older, there's an oversaturation. Yeah. You're gonna have to be a step above the herd with something else. So he was always testing my intellectual prowess with helping with my homework. I gotta do spelling bees in front of him. I gotta like show him my work. I gotta always show him my grades. I think my first report card when he moved me from the housing project down to suburbs in Maryland to Catholic school, I got all C's and one A. And I got the A in spelling. My memory was just what have you. He's like, yo, I don't pay this amount of money for you to get all C's and A. So this where we need to learn discipline and consequences. And I need to see more A's because we're gonna do a loss of average. When you get past these 3 years, you got another 4 years, and then you're going off to college. There's nobody in your mother's side of the family that's going to college that I know of, and you're gonna be the first one. And I'd be damned to have you down there and don't set you up to go off to college.
Like he wasted his time.
Correct. So he was always training me for the college. Scholarship for the college. Yeah. And I was always like, yeah, Dad, I hear you. But whatever, man. I'm about to trying to go win over these people with, and I got places to go, and I'm thinking about my talent Olympics, winning my gold medals in my mind for unwrapping the gift, and practicing or what have you. So I'm pleasing him by getting all the grades he wanted me to get. And I think came 10th grade is when my next door neighbor had equipment. He moved into my neighborhood when I was like probably in 7th or 8th grade. And I would always go over his house and we would always go buy records. And then he was buying sampling equipment and I would always go in there. I would do my homework first, get my file out the way in my mind, like thinking ignorantly at the time. But I would always be looking forward to when I'm doing my homework, I'm gonna go over there, bust out freestyles hours upon hours to get good with throwing dice into the subconscious, see how much I could do stream of conscious, how many words I could say in a short span of time that makes sense without writing anything, and just go for hours to build my voice and get stronger and get stronger. And I was always at it for like 3 to 4 hours. Like, and my partner, my neighbor at the time, he was like, "Yo, you need to sit down and write." I'm like, "Yo, writing interferes with the free stream of consciousness that I almost lose inspiration. I mean, I got to sit down and write.
You got to edit.
And I lose a feeling.
Mhm.
My thing was always feeling. When I'm dancing, is a feeling. When I'm trying to channel singing or sound, I'm going off a feeling. And freestyling allowed it just run off a feeling. I was feeling mad that day. An opponent came into the room that day trying to come and serve me. Like, yeah, you nice, but I'm nicer. I would transmute whatever anger I was dealing with into the art of freestyling to over dominate, to show them that, yo, I've spent more time on rapping to get my roots go deeper, and I would use it as a release. But I was building those 10,000 to 40,000 hours of muscle memory, so it comes second nature to me. Like Bruce Lee said, like, we ain't got to think about it. I didn't know that's what I was doing, but it helped me build the beginning building blocks of then having all right, now you got to sit down and write. Because I think the freestyling led to me making demos. The demos, I started like letting people hear at the barbershop.
Wait, and now when
this is all in DC.
Wait, but are you going by Notch at this time?
At this time, man, I done morphed from so many different names. Breakdancing crews. I was the smallest dude.
What was the name?
I was the smallest dude.
Tell it.
I was the smallest dude. And I would always wear a shirt that said, "Big things come in small packages." And they used to be like, "Yo, we're gonna call you Little Stuff, bro." Because people don't know that you're a firecracker. The minute we let you loose, you explode, and people are like, "Yo, where's this big talent coming from?" Like this little kid, the dancing. It went from Little Stuff to then when I got to DC, I would call myself all kind of different names, bro. Newly Design. Newly Design I stuck with for a little bit. And then finally I was like, man, you know what, man? Since I know how to sing and channel all kind of dead people that came before me, I'm gonna call myself Super-Notch, like supernatural. Like I'm supernatural.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And people, when I freestyle for long periods of time, people always feel like, yo, this is out of this world, bro. Like you can't be human. How long? You don't write this? You didn't even think. I'm like, nah, it's just I just connect. I see colors, I see words, I see pictures like really quick, and I'm with rhythmically with it. I'm just following the beat speaking to me. But I'm also channeling my favorite Big Daddy Kane, my Rakim. I'm channeling all my great ones that I heard and doing my rendition, my interpretation of what, like, I guess a new complex combination of old ideas being delivered by people I looked up to that I didn't know. If you listen to them long enough, they start to come through your subconscious and they show up when you start throwing dice. We almost like not even knowing you're acting out them. And yeah, people thought it was supernatural at the time. Now it's the normal thing. Now it's like on every YouTube shorts, every TikTok, Instagram, like, and I'm glad because it feels good to know that everybody, I knew it all along that all of us had this ability. It's just who wants to separate themselves, to tap in, spend 10,000, 40,000 hours to unwrap it, and then start showing up and letting people see what they get excited by themselves, and what others say, yo, you should show more people, because you keep it to yourself locally. That's not, you need to expand. You need a great demo grab collab. You need to stop being so local and sell out more places that people want to gather around you, what have you. So when I started taking these freestyles and showing it as demos to people. And at one of the barbershops in DC that I used to go to, one day I played it for a Black American barber I had, and he was like, "Yo, you need to let Big Dan hear that. He Jamaican. He know that. We know. Oh, you Jamaican?" I'm like, "No, my father Jamaican, but I like reggae music, and I just know how to like flip it like that."
Yeah.
So one of the dudes was like, "Yo, go play a demo in the car, yo. Go let him hear it." So I let Big Dan hear my demo. He was like, "Yo, this is you?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's seeing me going to the barbershop with a military outfit and a big book bag. And like, "What are you military school? But you had this other person would have you on record or on a cassette at the time." And he's like, "Yo, I'm actually involved with like this go-go genre in DC.
Okay, yeah.
But I'm involved with the reggae world too. I got a lot of Jamaican family and friends, and some of my relatives throw events and they put on shows." And he's like, "Yo, I might could get you on stage doing this, right? And I can get you an opening act. I'm like, word? He's like, yeah. And he's in the first show. In fact, first show he put me on was opening up for Jamericans at age 17.
Early shopper.
Age 17. I'm in high school. I'm in 10th or 11th grade. He got me opening up for Jamericans. Then he had me for Shinehead.
Okay.
Shinehead was like my sensei. If I'm Bruce Lee, Shinehead is Ip Man. You feel me? He's Ip Man. He's IP. He's Ip Man. At age 17, I'm opening up for these people, and I'm not having songs. I'm just freestyle when I'm opening up for them.
And they together on one show or these separate shows?
Separate shows.
Okay.
Like he had me open up for one thing, and then he had me open for another thing, and then he invited me. Some go-go artists wanted like a Jamaican type style flow on a go-go track to combine reggae and go-go, and he's like, "Yo, come down and see if you could get some business with this dude. He wants somebody to do some reggae stuff. I know you, so I figured you'd probably do it." So I knocked it out, and we filmed a video for it, and it got on BET. And I remember seeing it on BET.
What song is this?
It's a song called something Go-Go Dance or something like that. Dance Go-Go or something like that. It's with a dude named Mike. Go-Go Mike or something like that. And it got on BET. The video got on it. And at the time, I was always going to a record shop called Music Jukebox. It was called Music Box. And it was in this area called Langley Park in DC, DMV area, next to the barbershop I used to go to. And I would go there to get instrumentals so I could use it for the live show to give to a DJ. Be like, yo, just play the instrumental. I'm gonna just rap on the instrumental. So I bring my own music, what have you. Yeah. And every time I would go to these record stores, I saw Edley, my former partner from Jamericans, at the first one. I used to go to the record store when I was a little kid, when I was like 7. And then I ended up starting going back to the record shop when I was like probably 14, 15. And then finally I started buying instrumentals to do shows. One time I told Eddie, was like, yo, why you buying instrumentals? Why don't you just, you a DJ? I'm like, nah, I'm an artist. I be doing shows. I be opening up for different reggae acts. He's like, word? You ever thought about getting a record deal? Well, I'm like, what the hell is a record deal? I just like performing. Yeah. I'm buying records all these years, looking up to all these artists that signing these labels, not knowing that.
So you grabbing 45s for the instrumentals?
45s and all 4 12 inches.
Okay.
All 4 12 inches. And I'm like, man, I just like performing. I'm good with performing. Like, mind you, my father brought me to a recording studio as a little kid to record like one of his first cuts too, and me seeing the process. But in my mind, I'm like, man, this ain't performing. This ain't live, fire in your eye or audience. Love me, baby, hug me, baby. I fuck with you, yo. You winning me over. I want to hate on you. I want to hate on you, but you got me. All right, I'll give in with you. I'm gonna ride with you. Like, records to me was like not that. I'm enjoying records, getting inspired by records, but I'm like, nah, I want to perform live. Like, I'm a gladiator with a mic live. Like, that's what, and I want to see the fire in people's eyes and win them over if I see that they doubting or they hate or what have you. So I kind of brushed it off when he said it. And I'm like, nah, I'm good with performing, bro. I like performing. And then I saw him again at another record shop. And my homie, that's my next door neighbor, named Bruiser. That's his name, Bruiser. Anthony Brooks. He's like, yo, some kid is upstairs, like, freestyling on some instrumental. And I think you should go up there and let him hear how you sound, bro. Because he's kind of doing the same thing you're doing. I think he's American, so I don't even think he's Jamaican like that. So I go up there, I'm like, oh, snap, that's you. Okay, what's up, man? In the record shop, they'll be like, oh, yeah. And then I just started, like, letting them hear what I could do. That very instant, man. It's like the stars aligned. And little did I know, his father didn't know I was a little kid. He used to always come there breakdancing in front of his shop when I was like 7. I didn't know his mother auditioned to be in my father's band, Premier International.
Oh, that's crazy.
When I was a kid.
Yeah.
She never revealed that to me when I was going over to his house.
And she knew who you were at the time?
I'm not sure. I don't think she knew who I was until it was time for us to sign a record deal.
True.
And my dad was like, yo, take that record deal over that scholarship. You could settle different living arrangements. I ain't pay all this money for Catholic school, military school, for you to take a record deal over a scholarship. When she learned who my father was, I think then she probably revealed to her son that, yo, his father ain't no joke. He was like really tough to the band, tough band leader, what have you. But she auditioned for my father's band when she was younger. And my pops knew his pops, but I didn't know they knew each other. All these years I was going to his father's record shop from age 7 to probably like 17 or whatever. I never knew my father, knew his father. But he knew my father. His father was into sound systems, and my father was into the band scene. They had two different scenes in DC with sound systems and the live reggae band scene. So
What's going hand in hand?
yeah, and then sometimes they compete with each other because they all compete for a crowd, and they all like, yo, the DJ comes and plays after during intermission in between the band break and might win the crowd over more, and then yo, I'm gonna stay on longer. That band is boring or whatever. So I'm sure there was whatever with audiences, but whatever didn't take place with Ellie's mom, my former partner's mom, and whatever efforts that even Ellie's dad might have been involved with investing in the music business, like what they say, but like your kids become your karma. Whatever that happened with my dad with his trajectory, what he was trying to do, we end up becoming their karma. We end up fulfilling the prophecy of what they was trying to do to show the world they could jam. They Jamaicans living in America. We end up becoming that second generation of prophecy fulfillment, so to say. And it was organic, bro. Everything was organic. It was no, in my mind, it was organic. I ain't look at him like, yo, I need to pair up with you. I need you.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, this is just dope. You got the same background as me, nigga. You know what it is. We love hip hop. We into hip hop. We into the boom bap. We into all these rappers that we like. And then we hear how the Grand Poobahs of that time, Special Ed of that time, Heavy D at that time, Just Ice, KRS-One at that time, using kicks and snares and then doing Jamaican style flows on it. Shinehead at that time. We was comparing notes of what we into. And then we liked reggae music from the foundation periods of like when it was rock steady, when it was one drop reggae music, when it was dub music. We was listening. We like soul music. We love R&B music and we love hip hop music, but we heard the synergy between what all the reggae musicians was trying to do in the 70s, in the 60s and the 70s by mimicking their Black American counterparts and trying to mimic their soul music and making their own renditions of it in a rock steady way, in a one drop way, in a lovers rock way. And our ears would always pick up on the similarities.
Yeah, you could pick up the
sonics. We easily picked it up. So I let them hear my demos at the time. I'm like, yo, this is what I be doing. I be taking instrumentals from reggae music and I just be trying to blend them with the hip hop break beats that I hear and see if it could work. And then I'll start to sing my song. So I enjoyed buying records and I enjoyed listening to dope records on the radio, but I also knew I had to find ways to make instrumentals that was different and that could have me flow like I'm dancing with my voice. And sometimes straight reggae music didn't do it for me. I had to hear kicks and snares that was getting tricky.
Yeah.
And whenever I heard a groove from James Brown, like a drum track from James Brown, a drum track from like Booker T MGs or the Meters, that it was coming from hip hop, that they were sampling hip hop. Whenever I heard like a similarity that could go with
Isaac Hayes.
Yeah, when I could hear like that blending with some reggae bass lines, I'm like, yo, this will bring the reggae out and make my Black American friends think that they're listening to hip hop, but it's really with reggae bass lines. They probably gonna like the reggae because it got something similar to what they already used to. And KRS-One, Shinehead,
Mad Lion.
Well, I don't think Mad Lion at the time. Yeah, he came like a little bit before us, right after us, but we kind of got our foundation from KRS-One and Shinehead and Poor Righteous Teacher.
Yeah.
From out of Jersey.
From Jersey, yeah.
Trenton, they really were the ones who was showing us how, and that Asher D and Daddy Freddie, Special Ed, Just Ice, they were the ones showing us how to do it. That there was a way, even Heavy D.
Yeah, Heavy D, yeah.
And we was like trying to experiment. His uncle had a record collection that he left down in his mother's house in the basement. And my father had a record collection that was over his girlfriend's house at the time when I was living with. And my next door neighbor, he had a record collection as well. So we was just trying to be innovative with trying to come up with a sound that we heard in our head. But then I was like, yo, we got to perform, man. We got to perform. And I was always like, at the time I was still like visualizing, still want to actualize the visualization. I'm like, yo, we got to do so serious perform. We got to see if we can perform. I think first time he drove me home from his crib, I'm like, yo, we should form a group. We call it Jamericans. And I got the name really from my cousin Juanita, who lived in Queens, where she knew that people dubbed second generation people as Jamericans, saying, "Man, you ain't Jamaican, you just fake, man. You Jamaican, man." So when I heard that phrase one summer that we hooked up, we bonded in Connecticut, she said, "I'm like, yo, that's catchy, that's mad catchy." So I never forgot it, and I said to him, "I'm like, yo, we should call ourselves the Jamericans." And he's like, "Well, yeah, we should call ourselves Born Jamaicans." And I'm like, "All right." From there, we just started trying to figure out how to make things happen. He was always reading magazines, Source magazines. He was always reading magazines and reading the business section. And he worked at his father's record shop. So he was always studying the mechanics of what went behind records coming out, release dates, which companies are doing the most, who promotes the most, who puts out these type of artists. He's always looking at the address. He had like a Russ mind at the time. He was always like, yo, singers cool, rappers cool and all that, but yo, who are the money and the machinery behind this? And if one was trying to do this, what are the mechanics? So just by fate and God aligning the stars up and the universe lighting it up, what have you, my co-workers at a movie theater that I worked at, they were friends with people who managed Asher D and Daddy Freddie, who was like a hip hop duo out of England, out of England. And I think I was, and my childhood friend that I grew up with, that I used to go to the record store with, Ellie's father's record store, Music Box. He was good friends with a producer named Chucky Thompson.
From DC.
Yeah, made Biggie stuff, Mary J stuff, Faith Evans stuff. He was like one of
man, rest in peace. That's somebody who I would have loved to,
He
played by ear.
Yes, he was a music virtuoso that we underused, that I feel so bad that when we worked with him, we did not use his true ability. My cousin, I used to call him, my childhood friend, I used to call him my cousin. Because people saw us as looking alike. We break dance together. He played a lot of go-go around me as a child when I was growing up. But he was into hip hop. He was always traveling back and forth to Brooklyn, back to New York. He was cool with all the rappers that I looked up to and all the R&B artists I looked up to in the 90s and the 80s. And he heard what me and my partner was doing and was like, yo, y'all need a producer, bro. You need to stop using this damn sampler shit in the studio and just taking this and then putting that. Y'all need an actual producer. And I'm like, what is that? And he was like, I'm gonna bring you to Chucky. And he brought us to Chucky, and we brought our what we were doing in my house and what we were trying to do at Ellie's house. We brought it to Chucky, and Chucky was the first one to play like an engineer and program our music. And we started making demos. We went from Chucky studio with the pre-production gear, making demos, instrumentals, hip hop beats and reggae music, to then going to another studio to cut the vocals.
Yeah.
First official demo we ever did was the Boom Shack Attack song.
Damn.
93. Took 15 minutes to knock it out. That's what they call gifts. You knock out songs that fast, and everything happens so fast.
That's not even just a song, it's a hit.
Yeah, we performed it on the demo instrumental track for Amateur Night the Apollo audition for it. Like I think either Edley heard about the audition on the radio, I heard about it and I kept on pesting Edley like, yo, we gotta go to this audition for Amateur Night the Apollo. We gotta go early in the morning and audition for it, and they might bring it on the radio or what have you, or because a lady announced it. So we went down there, did the audition, they loved us, and then they put us on Amateur Night the Apollo to go perform on it. We lost to a guy who sang Jesus is the Real. So we rubbed our hand on the wood, the Hollywood spell that gives you good luck or whatever. Like the greats, from the Luther Vandross getting booed a couple of times, Lauryn Hill getting booed a couple of times, but they rubbed on it. A lot of people start their career at that time before social media and before open mic nights. That was like the biggest nationwide watch open mic night, with a dude who will come and take you off if you lose or whatever, or you're doing too much. So we got our shot with that. With the broom. We got our shot performing there first. And this so happened at the time and when it aired, our co-workers, again, my co-worker at the movie theater, hooking us up with the manager of Ashley and Daddy Freddie, them suggesting we should cut our vocal at a studio that they were cool with the producers and engineers that worked there. And one of the managers at the time worked at BET. And he's like, yo, Teen Summit got a show and they got a talent show too. So if you put together a package, knock the song out, and we could present this in the package to Teen Summit, which is like, I guess 106 in Park at the time.
Yeah.
For the 90s era.
Yeah.
So we go do that. And we get approved for the audition. We do that, and then Amateur Night the Apollo comes on Friday night, and then Teen Summit comes on Saturday. So we get seen back to back. We got a few test runs in the city by opening up for Gregory Isaac. God rest his soul in peace.
Yeah.
We opened up for a few different acts because of our family ties, Eddie's family ties, Big Dan's connections. And then we finally got to open up for KRS-One one time, and KRS-One knew of us. And we just knew we was going to get this deal that my homie Eddie was always telling, yo, you got to get a record deal, because when you get a record deal, it mass produces the live performance that you do on stage so the world can hear it. And then you can advertise. So you could do a lot more shows beyond your local area, and then you expand. And then you could charge more money for shows.
Mm-hmm. And
then you probably could do something with yourself. Like, he was always like about that. And once record company saw us perform on Amateur Night the Apollo and Teen Summit, we was already had eyeballs on us.
And now you look important because now you're doing 2 big shows back to back. So,
and the company's like, yeah, it's leverage. The company's like, yo, we better move in on this hype, scoop in on this hype before it dies down, because they already got more than 16 million people eyeballs on them, and they're liked. And they got something, and it's a reggae wave. Shaba's doing well, Supercat's doing well, Lady Patrick's doing well, Matt Cobra's doing well.
Damn, early 90s.
Early 90s, we rolled off their wave.
Yeah.
I would be remiss to act like we was the new musical youth. Yeah. We didn't come off the shoulders, standing on the shoulders of other reggae artists that before us, or a wave that didn't work in our favor. But we represented a younger generation with our age. We were 19 at the time. We're talking like 30 years ago. I'm giving away my age right now, but talking like 30 years ago, we're 19. The Caribbean market never seen a duo that was youthful in appearance and being based out of America, and then mixing hip hop with the reggae, and then bringing the old. And then the older Jamaicans felt like, yo, this younger group is bringing up the old, which we kind of respected. They may not be Jamaican, but the way they doing the old, and they blending the old music with the new music and making it palatable, that's something to say. So we end up earning like a connoisseur. The connoisseur Caribbean music appreciation people respected what we were trying to do. And so that we were trying to take the new knack from way back and make it newer for a new generation.
Yeah, because you sampled the D Brown.
We sampled everything, bro. And we melody interpolated a lot of melodies from classic songs.
Yeah.
So we was kind of bringing what already was established and reintroducing to a new generation. But the older generation that were connoisseurs, like, yo, this is dope. They're showing respect. They're not acting like they got some new stuff that's counter tradition. And it made them listen more, look more, and they wanted to introduce us to their kids.
Yeah.
They second generation Jamaican kids. They kind of like wanted their Jamaican kids to grow up on us. At the time, though, let me just fill in the gaps real quick. Big Dan, it's crazy. Big Dan would always show me videos of Jamaican artists performing in Jamaica on Sting, Sunfest, and Sunsplash.
Yeah.
Like as if it was training. He knew I was inspired by it. So when I would go to his apartment, he would like play these things. And one little kid I watched perform named Little Chris. His name is Little Chris. He wore like a white suit. He was like the youngest.
Performing like Beanie.
Yeah, they would let him on stage. They would bring him on stage. He was like a child star.
Yeah.
You had Risto Benji as a child star. Mm-hmm. That Supercat and Ninja Man would bring on stage, and Shaba would bring on stage. But then you had this young kid named Little Chris that they would bring on stage, and he would sing like these big people songs, but he'd hold it like as if he was an old man, like he was a man child. And I remember seeing him, a little dark-skinned kid with a white suit, and he just radiated, and the audience was wooed, like, how's a little kid with all this big talent? I learned about 3 or 4 years ago. He's a cousin of mine. At the time, I'm watching him. I'm like, man, yeah, he's showing it. Like, you could be a young dude that can encapsulate and win older and younger. And I'm mesmerized by him. I'm not knowing he's my family, though. I learned about 3 years ago. I watched an interview. And he's like, yeah, my name is Chris Howell. I never knew my father. My father died, but I'm connected to the Howell family. I'm like, man, it's little by little I'm learning where some of my talent is in the genes. And then when I went to Jamaica for the first time, my father's like, yo, in Jamaica, how Jamaica works is they gotta, if they know your last name and your family had some kind of like impact in the amongst the island or the culture, or who made Jamaica proud, it's kind of leverage for you to like let them know you didn't just come from out of nowhere. You ain't no Milli Vanilli or some dude who came from West Bum and all of a sudden you want to be Jamaican, you're acting Jamaican, you're saying Jamaican, you're mimicking Jamaican singers. Like your roots run deep down in Jamaica. And he was like, you got a relative down there named Derek Harriott that sang the song "I Was Born a Winner."
Yeah.
I think Freddie McGregor. Sorry, he had a song called "I Was Born a Loser," and I think Freddie McGregor did "I Was Born a Winner." He's like, when you get down there, go check him. He owns a record shop. Go check him. And then my mom got the chip on my shoulder. I hear you, Dad, but I really ain't trying to use the fact that I got family, and then it looks like I'm on TV in America. I'm this American dude, and I'm connected to family down there, and that's why it's so easy for me to get on. Where now I don't look like I put in 10,000, 40,000 hours to deserve to be in that position of being a village leader on stage to be yayed or nayed or booed or followed. They're like I was formulaically contrived and built up through the media machinery and family ties, and the fact that I got the complexion for the connection, or I'm a face boy, or I'm channeling these different singers, so as if I had triple training wheels as to why I got in the position I got into. I was always like, yo, nah, I gotta work hard. I gotta work hard. I gotta prove. Yeah. So I was always like, I hear you, Dad, but I ain't gonna go down there and say all that. I want to meet him just so he know I exist, but I ain't trying to bring all that up. I'm trying to like prove that there's some 10,000, 40,000 hours that I stepped away from everybody and I put it in, and they're going to acknowledge that, whether I got family ties or not, whether my family co-signed me or not. So I kept quiet about it. I ain't discuss it. I was never trying to even do what I hear Drake has been doing recently, trying to like bring up, yo, my dad is this dude who played for this band. Yeah. And really, you don't even know, like, you sound crazy over trying to say you really are the authentic, genuine article, because then it sounds like you lying, or you sound like you just trying to use that as a way to prompt up. So I just never brought it up at all. I was like, yo, I'm charting my own path, and I got to figure it out. And I'm trying to have my daughter bring up what her dad did, but she also got to bring up for her kid to bring up what she did. Exactly. I got checked one time by an African dude one time. That was a coworker of mine. It's a lesson. It's a learning lesson for all of us. He was like, yo, I always hear you bring up what you learned about what Black ancestors have done and contributed to society. And he's like, yo, I'm from Africa. I'm from Ghana. We don't claim half the shit that you African Americans keep on bringing up, that Egypt did this and Nigeria did this and Ghana did this. We just have to work now. And what are we doing to make our ancestors proud of us? He's like, it's cool you claim all the good that you hear about African contribute to society, but he was like, what are you doing to make Africa proud of you? Early. Cool. Yeah. Early. He said this to me in the 90s. And I'm like, man, I never thought of that way. He's like, yeah, you got to take the good and the bad too. And whenever Black Americans are doing bad, claim that bad too. Don't be just claiming the good. Take the good and the bad. But just work on doing more good so your ancestors can be proud that if you are an extension of this lineage from Africa and all that, that you're making them proud to be African. So my mindset from there was like, yo, I got to do something to make them proud. I got to do my own path to make even my family members be like, we're proud of him that he even did it without even off our back like that. So I kept quiet about it, but I also use it as a strength quietly. Feel me? My dad would always tell me, oh, you got some uncles that played horn sections in this school in Jamaica, Alpha, this school called Alpha something for the blind. And a lot of musicians come from there. A lot of great musicians, seasoned musicians come from there. And my two uncles played horn sections. It was nice with melodies. It's nice with it. And I'm like, Dad, it makes sense. I play by ear, and I be coming up with melodies like it's nothing. And sometimes I'll whistle melodies from a song I never heard before. And older people are like, yo, what you know about that song? You know about that song? I'm like, yeah, I never heard a song before in my life. They're like, so how do you know it? I'm like, it's easy. I know that the note's going to go here. It's going to go there, where I just figured it out in real time. They're like, oh, okay, so you musically inclined, where you got something to you. If you're hearing a song for the first time, older than you, And when you whistle it, it's as if you know, as if you heard it before you know it. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, well, you too can do the same thing. I'm always thinking, yo, you too got it. All of us got it. So I'm like, okay, Dad, I get it. It's in our genes. The gift is laid in our genes, but I just got to unwrap it, and I got to put in this muscle memory, and I put in these hours of training and be built to last, like you've been trying to tell me. So it ain't cute. It ain't just, it ain't a flash in the pan. You on TV, you on the radio, you got your run, you got a few songs that's winning for a couple of months or a couple of years, but then what else you got to offer, what have you. So when we get to those them two turning point moments in our life of Amateur Night the Apollo on NBC or ABC at the time, forgive me, network, and we on BET for that first. And then we're like on Monday morning, like, yo, what we gonna do, dog? Like, we've been watched by all these people. We got the press kit. And Eddie's like, yeah, listen, all these record companies, like, I got their addresses. And like, let's just start sending our package to these labels and see if they saw us and then see if they bite. So we started sending packages. And then one person was sending to a KRS One. We was able to talk to him. We was hoping that he would pull us in. And one company who saw us was Delicious Vinyl out of the West Coast. They signed Tone Loc, Young MC, Brand New Heavies, Who Riders.
These your label mates at that time?
At the time, when we came in, it was Farside, our label mates.
Ooh, that's a good group too, though.
And a dope rapper that was part of the Juice Crew from Brooklyn, Master Ace, who I looked up to from the 90s. These are some of like my dreams too. Like,
he's still going.
Yeah, me meeting people from the 80s, late 80s and 90s was like a dream come true. Was my dream, me fulfilling my dreams in my mind. I'm amongst the people I looked up to, and I'm meeting them. They're knowing me. I'm knowing them. In my mind, I'm platinum. In my mind, I'm gold. I'm not even caring about record sales. Not even caring about what my partner's saying, what the label's saying. I'm like, yo, you looking at a little kid who used to visualize this from a little kid, from the Housing Project days of watching people, listening to these people, watching every Saturday with my dad, and me say I'm gonna be there. They're gonna see me, and it's really happening. So they see us and they're like, yo, I think an A&R lady had just got a job there. She was into reggae music. She was into like the reggae artists from the 80s. She always wanted to go to Jamaica.
That was an era too.
Yeah, the late 80s was definitely a good era. And she always wanted to sign a reggae act. Always wanted to go to Jamaica, be amongst more Jamaican artists that were there. And it just so happened that one of the managers that were the manager for Ashley and Daddy Freddie, the London-based reggae-based hip-hop group, he was dancing with her one night at a club. And he's like, yeah, I'm Jamaican. She's like, where are you Jamaican? She's like, yeah, I work at a record label. I just got a job there and I'm trying to sign a reggae act. He's like, oh, I know a perfect group that you should probably sign in DC. They were just on TV, over the weekend or like what have you. She comes into the office and then there was a girl that was working there. She's like, yo, I saw an incredible group on TV Friday night and Saturday night. And he's like, what's funny is that I was dancing with a guy who said he knows of them. So us submitting our press kit to these labels and them not really calling back. But when they did call back, they was like, yo, we'll take the singer. Or no, we don't want the singer, we want the rapper. They wouldn't take us together. This company was like, yo, we'll take you guys together. And to show you that we mean business, we'll fly you guys to Jamaica to work with a Jamaican producer and get it going. So the first producer we went to try to work with was Bobby Digital.
Oh,
God rest his soul in peace. The producer for Sizzla Kalonji.
Yeah, for everybody.
For Shabba Ranks. For the great Sprugga Benz, great Beanie Man.
I got one of his CDs.
He ran the sound of the early 90s. Sanchez. Ooh. Yeah, God rest his soul, bro. Bless you.
Thank you.
He was an engineer, but then he became his own producer and he hired musicians to come in and a lot of artists came through his studio. So Eddie was always listening to his sound. He's like, yo, he has the sound, he has the wave right now. So if we go to him and we get on his rhythms, we'll get paid attention to faster. And the A&R lady at the time, she's like, yeah, you guys are Jamericans, but you guys got to go get baptized in Jamaica.
Yeah.
Jamaica would be the look that if Jamaica like co-signs you, baptize you, says, yo, go represent the flag because you came down there first and got going with them. And they said, yeah, you could represent us. That was the mindset. So we go there, we sit with Bobby Digital but we come in with carbon sulfate, not a Jamaican person, a white person, or like a better word, what have you.
Nah,
So he's culturally, he's looking at us like, oh, you guys are coming down here to Drake our reggae music away. Drake take our music away. You guys are culture vultures. You guys are maybe second generation Jamericans, but you come in here with this white lady. We got a wave going on that's winning right now at radio in America. They about to do the what they call the new current immigration replacement theory, and let y'all represent who we are, and get the money coming to y'all, pump that money to y'all, and y'all live in America, not pump that money down here, one of our acts. And you trying to ride up the wave I got going on right now, and what's going on radio. So I think we think he processed us as a plant that the industry was trying to plant and plant in Jamaica. We're not bringing up who Eddie father is. We're not bringing up who my cousin is. We're not bringing up. At the time, I didn't know little Chris' father's last name was Howell, and all the Howells in Jamaica, I know they're related. You feel me? And he's like, we're not knowing how to bring up all these. My father mentioned it to me, but I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm not gonna bring all that up. But I'm not knowing to bring up all this stuff for him to be like, oh, okay, so y'all are connected to the tree. We gotta spruce you up with some Jamaican genetically modified Jamaican ingredient to let y'all go out there and represent us. Like, he looking at us like, y'all coming with the white lady, so y'all about to Drake snake take us and try to beat us at our own thing, and this could be a bad thing, or what y'all want though? How much money y'all speaking, and think I got something for y'all. So it was like looking at us like if we was a broken robot that fix electricity issues. He's an electrician for the community. He making money for the community. He's valuable to the community. And somebody brings him a robot that needs to be fixed that does the same thing. And like, yo, we need you to fix this robot. And I'm gonna fix you, but I'm gonna fix you in a way where you can't replace us.
Yeah.
So what he did was he let us hear a track. When we heard the track, we was like, man, that's not that fire that
that's not how he really
originally with that fire that we was hearing from all these other joints that you named for everybody else, like the real stuff, like, and we couldn't tell him that out of respect. Feel me? They were like, yo, how you gonna tell us what it is? And y'all Jamericans, y'all live abroad, and we heard some of y'all records. Y'all records is y'all diluting our music by putting hip hop beats to our music, what have you. So out of respect, the lady could see that it was a disconnect. Like there wasn't a natural Quincy Jones meets Michael, create an off the wall synergy type of situation. So it kind of forced like a door closed on us. So we got the rejection. The rejection led for us leading up to the perfection.
Yeah.
For us to perfect our own sound. And it led us to kind of like take not having much and trying to make something out of nothing. So we went right back to Chucky Thompson, was like, yo, listen, tried to go right to the root and be the fruit, bared from the root. But they looking at us like we a Bill Gates appeal brand, genetically modified fruit hybrid seed that we just trying to go down there and plant on their farm and come out from them, and it's not really the real deal. So if we're that, I guess we're gonna be that. So we end up just sticking to our guns, and it was tough. I'm not even gonna lie to you, like it was tough. Whenever you trailblazing and pioneering, you know,
because it was new.
It was new, yeah, it was new, and and we wasn't relying on a cosign. Like we didn't have a cosign.
Yeah.
We come out of DC at the time. My partner, we always bring up, DC is known for bureaucracy, government. Like a lot of rich, prominent white folks, a lot of people not knowing about the Chocolate City having like a underbelly Caribbean community that rocking a reggae every night, the reggae bands and the dancehall scene that's there. They just thinking that's DC, that's government, that's go-go and government. So they was not thinking a reggae act could come out of DC. So the label was a little leery about it, but then BT was like BT to us was like our TikTok, our YouTube, and our Instagram. BT felt like we started with them, so they got behind our first video. Person that worked at BT, Billy Woodruff, very prominent director producer who made a lot of classic videos for a lot of artists during the 90s and early 2000s. He worked with one of our managers to film our first video, and we went to Jamaica to film our first video. And Junior Gong was in our first video. He was at our video set. And I don't know at the time when he said, yo, why do you guys do this? You know what, I'm such and such son, but they try to get me to do this music thing. But why do you guys? I don't know why you guys do this. And I don't know if he was saying, why do you guys do reggae and hip hop, or why do you guys do being artists? But I always thought it was strange to me that he asked that question, and then years later, he continued another prophecy fulfilled.
Yeah.
Off of pairing up with a hip hop artist doing a reggae hip hop album, and then and then the new sound that's coming from him and his brother. I ain't trying to claim it. I'm not trying to be one of them pioneers that's bitter, but I almost feel like they started to learn what we was trying to do at that time that we thought they would know. All you got to do is turn the kick up a little bit, stop using the bass note as the kick, and it would be hip hop. It'd be what people are used to in America as soul music, with the kick being a little, because we dance on the one in America.
Yeah, the snare on the two.
In Jamaica sometimes. Sometimes
you got the kicks in between the one and the two.
And the bass. Yeah, you already know what it is. Yeah, you already know what it is. You're a music aficionado with it. So I'm glad that when he started to experiment and do this, and his brother Steven, genius, bro, like genius. Every time I hear their production, I'm like, yo, these dudes finally.
He did most of Junior Gong's.
Yeah, he's like, yo, he gets it. He's like, yo, the next generation moving forward should be the hybrid of turning that kick up, turn that snare on, and fusing the two together. But it's not called reggae hip hop. It's just called reggae revival. It's like reggae revival, like from Protege, Chronix.
Oh yeah,
Chesedek. All these dudes are like spitting on the sound that we was hoping everyone would catch on to and use it as an extension or rebranding to grab another audience or grab a broader audience, and don't even look at it like you diluting. You're not really diluting, because reggae is nothing more than
all music is connected.
Yeah,
all music is connected.
It is. And the root of a lot of reggae music was just dope interpolations and dope covers and dope renditions of early soul music. And rock steady. Maybe with some African influence, a lot of African influence when it comes to the skanging and guitar playing. Mm-hmm. People down in Trinidad be trying to claim that the skanging guitar playing came from Trinidad and it influenced people in Jamaica into putting the skanging to everything to at that same BPM as the heartbeat to be the lovers rock, one drop, rock steady tempo. Mm-hmm. But yo, a lot of our reggae hip hop was influenced from break beats of musicians, that Jamaican musicians that were trying to mimic them in the 70s and the 60s. And my father, my father was like, yo, I see what you did. You used technology to bring two eras together and two sets of musicians together through technology from different parts of the water, that one knew about the other, but the one didn't know one was mimicking the other. Mm-hmm. And you guys are a new generation for it, and you did it. You pulled it off.